Welcome to Dr. Heidi Healing. This meditation is to explore the liminal space, our stress response, and letting go with compassion. This is inspired by the writings of Jen Johnson, Nancy Levin, Ram Dass, and Kena Paranjape. As we begin, I'd like to invite you to come to sit on your cushion on the floor or on your chair. Begin by sensing into the support that you have from the chair or the cushion, paying attention to the actual sensations of contact, finding a position of stability and poise. Your upper body is balanced over your hips and shoulders in a comfortable but alert posture. Hands on your lap or your knees, arms hanging by their own weight like heavy curtains, stable and relaxed. Actually sensing into your body, feeling your feet, legs, hips, lower and upper body, arms, shoulders, neck, head. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do so. Otherwise, you can lower your eyes and gaze down at the tip of your nose, bringing awareness to the breath, the actual physical sensations of the breath, feeling each breath as it comes in and goes out, letting the breath be just as it is, without trying to change or regulate it in any way, allowing it to flow easily and naturally with its own rhythm and pace, knowing you're breathing perfectly well right now, nothing for you to do. Allowing the body to be still and sitting with a sense of dignity, a sense of resolve, a sense of being complete, whole in this very moment, with your posture reflecting this sense of wholeness. Continue riding the wave of the breath. The current breath is the only thing in the present moment. Everything else is past or future. Even the breath you just took is in the past, and the breath you're going to take is in the future. Often in life, as in the breath, we may find ourselves in that space between where we've been and where we are going. This is known as liminality, the space between one thing and another. I used to teach aerial acrobatics before the COVID pandemic, so I like to think of liminality as when a trapeze artist lets go of one swing and doesn't yet know whether they're going to be able to catch the other swing. Or even the space and uncertainty between where we've been in our previous careers or our previous life direction or purpose and where we're going, even if we don't know what that looks like yet. That's liminality. And every transition goes through 3 phases: letting go, the in-between or the liminal, and rebirth. The habitual pattern of the mind may be to cling to the familiar because it perceives that anything is better than moving toward what is unknown or unfamiliar. And it's only when we're unconscious to our liminality that we suffer the most and stay suspended in this in-between phase for longer than necessary. There's such depth and richness in liminal space if we can learn to be still and sense into the experience of what surrounds us, to honor the space between no longer and not yet. There are unlimited opportunities in this liminal space. And as Kana Paranjape has said, the magic of the unknown lies behind every corner. And when we acknowledge what we're going through, we can better care for ourselves through the process, allowing the excitement for what is coming to far outweigh the sadness or the fear associated with what we're leaving behind. A lot of magic can happen in a liminal space. And as we embark on this mindfulness meditation, we'll explore liminality, our response to stress, and letting go with self-compassion. We'll explore what feelings and sensations are evoked in this place of uncertainty, how the mind reacts to the experience in a habitual manner, and how we can choose something different this time. So first, let's just get here. If your hand was on your belly, you can allow your hands to rest gently on your lap or in any position that feels right to you. And let's begin by taking 3 collective breaths. Inhale in through the nose. Open up the mouth wide and exhale. Again, inhale it up. Open up the mouth wide, exhale. Last one, inhale it in. Roll your eyes into the back of your head to signify relaxation. Feel the heartbeat, feel it beat. Keep the mouth closed and gently exhale through your nose. Returning to normal breath. Now let's invite the body, mind, and spirit to release any tension it doesn't need to hold by silently repeating to yourself after me. I invite my body to release any tension it doesn't need to hold. And feel yourself sink deeply into the chair or the cushion or the mat. You don't need to know what needs to be released. Just allow the softening to happen, guided by your body's own intelligence. And give yourself the glorious permission to do nothing right now, and know that it is good for you. For some of you, this will be old hat. For some of you, this will be a new experience. For some of you, even the term meditation might be an alien term. Mindfulness is just paying attention to the present moment on purpose, without judgment, accepting what is. And meditation is the workout for our minds, so we can be mindful even when we aren't doing a mindfulness exercise. So as we embark further on this mindfulness exercise, have no expectations. If you don't have any expectations, you can't get frustrated. Have a no judgment attitude. Simply don't judge yourself or your meditation experience. Have a beginner's mind. This means starting with a blank slate, no matter how much meditation experience you have, and not trying to recreate a past positive experience. Be an observer. Be curious. Be the curious observer of what happens during meditation. When we are beginners, we hope to find a place of quiet or stillness. Instead, we discover how very unquiet we are. So don't get frustrated. It's part of the process. We cannot achieve a quieter, focused mind until first we become aware of how very noisy it is. And finally, understand that meditation is not about feeling a certain way. It's about feeling the way you feel. It's about bringing acceptance and concentration to the process. So just breathe gently and sit with what you're experiencing right now at this moment. If you're experiencing tiredness, let yourself be tired. If you're feeling cold or hot, be cold or hot. If you're feeling the seat under you, the sounds outside, don't push anything away. Just accepting what is. And bring your awareness back to the breath. Noticing the belly rise on the inhale. Noticing the belly fall away on the exhale. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Thoughts arise, just let them go like clouds on a windy day. Don't get carried away with the thought. Just notice the thought and let it go. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Don't judge yourself for thinking, just accepting what is. In fact, congratulate yourself for noticing you were thinking. As humans, in 20 seconds, we can have 20 to 30 thoughts. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. In liminal space, we sometimes need to not do and not perform according to our usual successful patterns. We actually need to fail abruptly and deliberately falter to understand other dimensions of life. We need to be silent instead of speaking, experience emptiness instead of fullness, anonymity instead of persona, and sometimes pennilessness instead of plenty. In liminal space, we descend and intentionally do not come back up or up immediately. It takes time, but this experience can help us re-enter the world with freedom and new, creative approaches to life. We can learn to honor liminal space, that threshold between what was and what will be, by noticing the habit of the mind to worry about the future or ruminate about the past, and by bringing our heart and mind back to the breath, back to the present moment over and over again. Let's bring to mind a time of uncertainty between where you've been and where you are going that causes some stress. A situation that you're willing to work with at this moment, not your biggest challenge, but not so small that it causes no stress at all. A 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 is a good guide. It could be a situation you're currently experiencing between where you've been in our previous careers or previous life direction, or even our self-identity or purpose, and where we are going, even if we don't know what that looks like yet. Just bring the situation vividly to mind. Imagine being in the situation and all the difficulties associated with it. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? There's such depth and richness in this liminal space if we can learn to be still and sense into the experience of what surrounds us. Notice whether you can feel the stress in your body. What sensations are evoked in this place of uncertainty? Maybe it's physical tension, a faster heart rate, a little bit of sweating, butterflies in your stomach, tightness in the back or shoulders or jaw perhaps. Look out for your stress signals. Tuning in to your emotions, honoring the feelings that come up about what you're leaving behind. It's natural to feel some sadness or grief for what you're leaving behind, even if it's your choice to do so, even if you know it's the right choice. What feelings are evoked in this place of uncertainty? Really notice how you feel. And then label that emotion if you can. For example, guilt, fear, anxiety, disappointment. How does the mind react to this experience in a habitual manner? Where does your mind go with this uncertainty? How does it make you feel? And be aware of where you feel the emotion exactly in your body. Just try to spot it as best you can. The more precisely you can locate the emotion, and the more you notice about the sensation, the better. And with time and experience, you'll keep getting better at this. So don't judge yourself if it feels a little difficult. Just try and spot it as best as you can. And then bring mindful attitudes to the emotion. These mindful attitudes include curiosity, friendliness, acceptance. And if it feels right to you, try placing a hand on the location of the sensation. Just a friendly hand representing kindness. Do it the way you would place your hand on the injured knee of a child, with care and affection. And feel the sensation together with your breathing. This can promote a present moment awareness and mindful attitudes to the experience. Now focus again on the situation you've chosen. And we're ready to start the silent phrase of letting go, allowing us to choose something different this time instead of the habituated stress response. You'll be repeating it to yourself and synchronizing it with your deep breathing. And we'll be saying phrases with our breath. So take a slow, gentle, relaxed inhale into your whole torso and say silently to yourself, let it happen. And on the exhale, say silently to yourself, let it go. Again, inhale slowly, let it happen. Exhale, let it go. And on the exhalation, really exhale with the intention of breathing out and releasing that emotion. See your exhaled breath as a smoky color, being directed out of your body and into the environment around you. Now, during this quiet time, simply silently repeat the let it happen and let it go phrases, and really breathe out the emotion from your body, just emptying your breath fully, emptying the emotion fully. Feel the release on the exhale, and on the inhalation, breathe in renewed, fresh energy. Let it happen, let it go. And say this to yourself during this next pause. If thoughts arise, just let them go like clouds on a windy day. Don't get carried away with the thought. Just notice the thought and let it go. Bring your awareness back to the breath. Don't judge yourself for thinking. In fact, congratulate yourself for noticing that you're thinking. Just accepting what is. Now you can relax and stop saying the phrase. Being gentle with yourself, returning your breathing back to normal if it had happened to have changed. And rest for a moment with a normal breath. Now focus again on the situation you've chosen. Bring that situation vividly back to mind. Imagine being in the situation with everything around it, the smells, the tastes, the people, the sounds, the emotions. And now imagine being in the situation and consider the impact of not making the change from your previous career, your life direction, your self-identity, your purpose. Whenever I'm really struggling with attachment to what I'm leaving behind, I follow the trail in the scenario that I didn't make the change. What if you stayed in that job that you know isn't quite right for you? Or what if you stay with that life direction or your self-identity or your purpose that you know isn't quite right for you? How do you imagine that unfolding? Notice whether you can feel the stress in your body. What sensations are evoked in this space of never making a change and not moving into your true potential, even if you don't know what that looks like yet? See if you can feel the stress of being stuck where you are. Physical tension, faster heart rate, maybe a little bit of sweating, butterflies in your stomach, tightness in the back or shoulders or jaw, perhaps. Sometimes those are my stress signals. Just look out for your stress signals. And tune into your emotions. honoring the feelings that come up about being attached to your current safe space and not ever making a move. What feelings are evoked in this place of attachment? Notice how you feel. Label that emotion if you can. For example, guilt, fear, anxiety, disappointment. How does the mind react to this experience? And be aware of where you feel the emotion exactly in your body. Just try to spot it as best you can. The more precisely you can locate the emotion and more you notice about the sensation, the better. And with time and experience, you'll keep getting better at it. So don't judge yourself if it's a little bit difficult. It's okay, and you're okay as you are. Let's bring mindful attitudes to the emotion, including curiosity, friendliness, and acceptance. Try placing your hand on the location of the sensation. Just a friendly hand representing kindness. Again, doing it the way you would place your hand on the injured knee of a child with care and affection. And feel the sensation together with your breathing. This can promote a present moment awareness and mindful attitudes to your experience. Now focus again on the situation and seeing yourself in this space of never making a change and not moving into your true potential. And we're ready to start the silent phrase of letting go, allowing us to choose something different this time instead of that habitual stress response. You'll be repeating it to yourself and synchronizing it with your deep breathing. So let's take a slow, gentle, relaxed inhale into your whole torso and say to yourself silently, let it happen. And on the exhale, say, let it go. Again, inhale slowly, let it happen. Exhale, let it go. And on that exhalation, really exhale with the intention of breathing out and releasing that emotion. Seeing your exhaled breath as a smoky color, being directed out of your body and into the environment around you. Now, during this quiet time, simply silently repeat the let it happen and let it go phrase, and really breathe out the emotion from your body, emptying your breath fully, emptying the emotion. Feel the release on the exhale, and on the inhalation, breathe in renewed, fresh energy. And as you say to yourself, for this next pause, let it happen, let it go. If thoughts arise, just let them go like clouds on a windy day. Don't get carried away with the thought. Just notice the thought and let it go. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Don't judge yourself for thinking. Don't judge yourself for the quality of the thoughts. In fact, congratulate yourself for noticing that you were thinking. Just accepting what is. As human beings, in 20 seconds, we can have 20 to 30 thoughts. And our minds can be very noisy, and that's okay. So now you can relax and stop saying the phrase, being gentle with yourself, returning your breathing back to normal. Let's just rest for a moment. And as we move into a moment of self-compassion, I invite you to place a hand or two hands over your heart center, and saying any words of self-compassion that feel right to you. I like the words, I'm okay. They're really simple, but they speak to me. And so with the hands on the heart center, either use the words that I'm choosing of I'm okay, or use any other words of self-compassion that feel right to you. And let's just say them to ourselves for a moment here. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And if it feels right to you, just add a little tiny pressure with those hands over the heart, like you're giving yourself a little physical hug right through the heart. And repeating those words of self-compassion again. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And just repeat those words or your chosen words now during this next pause. Feeling the gratitude and knowing that you're okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Allow yourself to stop saying the words of self-compassion to yourself. But if you choose to leave your hands where they are, feel free to do so. And just know that you are perfect as you are right now, today. And you don't need to be anything different than who and what you are right now. You are perfect as you are. Sometimes we encounter these speed bumps in the road of life, but we're not defined by the way we feel or our emotions. Those are just transient. They aren't who we are. You're okay as you are right now. So let's now bring our awareness back to the breath. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And we don't need to know yet where we want to go or what the next trapeze swing that we're going to catch looks like yet. We only need to begin envisioning how would we feel and what would we like. We can use visualization to give us a head start and the space for inspiration to blossom. So imagine yourself living in an abundance of love, health, prosperity, peace, and joy. The magic of the unknown lies behind every corner. We can envision and make space for this to emerge. So what does it look like to see yourself living in an abundance of love, health, prosperity, peace, and joy? It doesn't have to be anything specific, just whatever comes to mind. For me, sometimes it begins with what looks like a child's drawing you'd put up on the fridge of my smiling face, flipped up shoulder-length hair, even though I have long hair, and I've got a bow on top of my head for some reason, and around my head is sunshine. There's a heart, there's a dollar sign, there's a peace sign, a green tree, there's a flower, a bird, some waves, a seagull. Sometimes even a word gets added. But like I said, I don't have shoulder-length flipped hair, nor do I wear bows in my hair. But this is what comes to mind for me. So don't constrain yourself with what you think the image should be. Just whatever image comes to mind for you. That image that comes to mind might not be a child's drawing. It might be realism or a live picture, and you're walking through somewhere you've been or somewhere in your imagination or somewhere you want to be. Whatever comes to mind for this image of yourself living in an abundance of love and health, prosperity, peace, and joy is fine. Just let whatever comes to mind and don't judge it. Just accept what comes to mind. And the more we can bring this image to life, the more our body, our mind, and our spirit will begin incorporating it and help manifest the next chapter. For example, when I knew it was a time for a change in my previous career, I wanted to move away from clinical oncology translational medicine, but wasn't sure what the next step was. I would visualize in my mind's eye this child's drawing each day on my drive into work and really feel each of the symbols on the mental drawing and project that emotion, even if I didn't feel it just yet. And in a couple of weeks, the realization that I wanted to move into more preventive and broadly applied epidemiology occurred. Then I kept visualizing the drawing and projected seeing me happy in the perfect epi job with an abundance of love and health and prosperity and peace and joy each day on my drive into work. And within 6 months, the opportunity for the career I'm in now arrived. It was scary to leave academia for private industry, as once you leave academia, you don't go back. Rarely. And I had made it to the National Cancer Institute and had been recruited to the #1 cancer center in the country. So I did a lot of soul searching in this liminal space that I was living in. And I realized I did need to make the change to be happy. As scary as it was, by embracing that liminal space and visualizing where I wanted to be, I was able to leave the safety and the confines of my previous vocation into the one I'm in now that I'm so much happier in. So in your image, where are you? Who are you with? What sounds do you hear? What do you feel emotionally? What do you smell? How does your body feel? Just take a moment to really bring this image to life. Now ask yourself or your higher self, if that resonates with you, just ask any questions about the next chapter or the next steps that you want to ask, and see what image or words come to mind. Don't try to change the image or the message, even if it doesn't make sense to you right now. Just listen in, ask, and see what you hear or see. What is it about this image or words that might represent your rebirth into the next phase of your life? Don't worry if it doesn't make sense right now as to how this image or these words fit. Just note the image or words so you can carry them with you back to the physical world. And take a moment to see that image or those words one more time. And if you want to ask another question, just take a moment and see what else comes to mind. We'll stay in this quiet time for the next 20 seconds for you to gather all of the information that you can. And again, don't worry if it doesn't make sense right now as to how this image or the words fit. Just note the image or the words so you can carry them with you back to the physical world. I sometimes like to imagine that I'm putting them in my pocket or wrapping them up into a little present that I can carry with me or in a little pouch. So as we bring this meditation to a close, begin deepening your breath. Begin deepening it a little bit more, bringing life into the physical body once again by deepening the breath more and taking it down into the legs and the toes and maybe wiggling those toes. And then as you deepen the breath a little more, take it down into the arms and into the fingers and wiggle those fingers. And on your deepest breath so far, take the breath into the feet and into the arms and wiggle the hands and the toes. And if it feels right to you, add a little few rolls to the wrists and the ankles. And when you're ready, take a big, giant good morning stretch. Take those arms up over your head or stretch in any other way that feels right to you. And when you're ready, allow the arms to fall back down. Allow the chin to come to the chest. Allow the low back to just round just a little, relieving any tension there. And when you're ready, sit back up into that nice supported position. And let's conclude with one final collective inhale and exhale. Inhale it in And exhale in whatever way makes you feel good. If you had your eyes closed, feel free to open them gently. And let's just take a few moments for you to silently reflect on or write even some notes or images about anything that may have come up during this meditation. I'll end the meditation recording now, but feel free to continue capturing all of the juicy images and words for your next chapter. Thank you so much for exploring transitions and liminality with me. And please subscribe to Dr. Heidi Healing. Thank you so much, and I look forward to meditating with you in mindfulness next time. Thank you.